If you're an expert already, you probably won't learn anything this episode, but feel free to watch it. You might pick up a thing or two. Alright, so I actually decided to make this video because of my girlfriend. She was like, what is Minecraft? What is this game? Why is it so good? And I'm going to tell you exactly why it is so good and exactly why it is one of the most played video games in the world. So to start off, you got single player and multiplayer, like any good game should have. They're basically the same. Multiplayer just lets you play with other people. Pretty self-explanatory. You can do basically the same thing on both. So we're just going to explain this whole series or this little video in single player to make it a bit easier. Here are your worlds. So these are all my offline worlds. And the basic idea of these is they're basically only me. And I've got various ones for different things. So I'm going to explain these different things now. When we go into create new world, you can name it, just to identify it. And then there's game mode. So survival is the #1 game mode on most single player games and most servers as well. Well, factions is that, but we'll get into that later. So survival. That is, you search for resources, crafting, gain levels, health and hunger. There is no end to the game. To start off, you might be like, what? How can you play single player without an end? You can keep surviving forever. And even if you die, you just respawn anyway. So it's not really survival, but you'll get the point once I jump into the game. So this one is just building resources. You could almost call it the legit and default version of the game. And then you've got hardcore, which is just the more hardcore version of survival, where if you die once, then the game is over. You cannot keep playing. It's over in one death. That's the only reason why there's hardcore. Not many people play it, to be honest. A few YouTubers do, but that's about it. Then we have creative. Now this is also a very popular game mode. Unlimited resources, free flying, and destroy blocks instantly. That's basically for people who want to build massive projects. Like people build computers in Minecraft. People recreate maps on other games, so like Borderlands or Gears of War or Halo. They'll just go onto creative and they can rebuild another map that they've seen in another game and show it off to their friends. It just basically looks good, pretty much. That's what creative's for. Building and exploring and working out new technologies in Minecraft, things like that. And then, well, that's it for the single player world, but once I'll jump into one. Let's jump into a creative world first. So I'll show you this. We'll name this world Creative. And we just click, there's some more options here. I'll quickly go over this actually, really quick. So structures, Minecraft randomly generates the map. So you can walk in a straight line forever, it'll never end, and it just generates stuff. And this is if you want to generate villages and dungeons, which are just in-game things, which I might be able to find one for you. And cheats, that doesn't matter when you're on creative, but when you're on single player survival, you want to turn cheats off because they're literally cheats. That's what they are. Bonus chest is just an extra chest when you spawn to give you some extra resources. And world type. We've got a few here. So we've got large biomes, which just means sometimes there's grass, sometimes there's snow. And if you make them large, there's large areas of grass, large areas of snow. That's pretty much it. And super flat, the world is perfectly flat and there's no hills or trees or anything. Anyway, let's just go default. Create new world. And as I said, this is the creative version. Spawn looking into a tree. That's a good example of Minecraft. You randomly spawn in a map and everything randomly generates. So over there is a snow biome. It randomly generated. It's got snow, these type of trees. Over here, I'm pressing F3 to bring up this menu. And we're in a desert. So that's the type of biome and that's why there's sand. And there's a bit of water and some cactuses. And if I double tap spacebar, I can fly. So just by double tapping spacebar I can now fly, and all the blocks are they just get destroyed in one hit when you're in creative. Just like this. And I can press E to bring up my menu, and seeing as I'm in creative, I have every resource in the game in this menu bar here. So I can go building blocks, and I can just scroll through them and be like, I want to build something out of this wool colour, and I want to build this wool colour, and I want to build a house out of this wood. And you can get tools, but they're useless in creative. Really, creative is just to design stuff with blocks. So I'll grab some of this real quick. Alright, so I'm flying with spacebar. You can double tap spacebar to get out of flying mode, or you can press spacebar to go up and shift to go down. So if you're doing something really technical in a creative project, you want to just go up a tiny bit and then go down, place the block. That's what it's good for. So we can fly just over here, and I can start placing blocks. So I'm just right clicking to place down these blocks, and I can just build whatever I want. The normal things people build for, the people who play creative, is they build just to build something that looks nice. But this is not going to look nice because it's terrible. I mean, it's wool. No one builds stuff out of wool. But this is my design for a room anyway. It's not very good. It's kind of Australian. Green and gold. That's good enough for me. That's my reason behind it. And that's it. That's all. That's the whole point to a creative right now, is just to build stuff. Now, I particularly build stuff on my YouTube channel for my servers. So I build spawns that I then host up on a server, and then people join and have a look at it and they go, wow, hey, that's a nice spawn. Good job, bro. So that's why I build in creative. But there is lots of reasons. And some people do it to design something before they do it in survival. Because in survival, when you press E on the keyboard, it doesn't bring up this, it brings up this. And you don't have access to anything unless you find it in the world. And it's a lot harder to find these resources when you're not in creative, which I will be showing you soon. So I'll just quickly finish off creative. So you can place blocks. A lot of people use creative to test redstone circuits. And redstone is basically like electricity wire. This is the on switch, that's the wire, this is the output. So see how it's powered now? And that turns that on, now it's not powered so it's turned off. And people build it all in creative because they have unlimited resources. That's why people build stuff in creative. Either to test it out, see if it looks good, or for another server or a map. There's tons of reasons. Creative is great, it's great game mode. Access to everything right here. And that pretty much sums it up. There's a search bar here, click here, and you can type in search items. So I want to find gold. And then this is everything with gold in the name. So I can grab a gold block, get out of that, and it's pretty good because now I've got a gold block and I can build something out of gold. Right there. And that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else directly related to creative.